13.
Alrighty, I think it's
I
recording.
didn't have a formal education,
Um,
and I believe I would not be
that's
standing
Sean Connery.
here tonight
What a legend.
without the books, the plays, the scripts. It's been a long journey from Fountain Bridge to this evening with you all. Though my feet are tired, my heart is not.
Sean Connery's life story is one of transformation, self-education, and unwavering determination. From humble beginnings in Edinburgh to becoming an international icon, Connery's...
What a great way to start that. I was going to do something else. But then fate stepped in and Sean Connery arrived, as he often, I've heard, does. I'm going to do a little picture show. I'm just, first of all, just a little outfit check. I've got a really nice white shirt of my mum's on so that I don't look like a terrifying android fucking robot, because that would unsettle you all. Sometimes you have to be a terrifying android robot, and sometimes you just have to be a friendly dad that has some fucking weird makeup on to make my eyes pop so that this is a bit more presentable. Who am I presenting to? Well, at the moment I'm presenting to a giraffe on the mantelpiece, my brother, 2 angels, 2 feathers, 2 flowers, my nana, a bee, that little Twitter bird, go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you've imagined. Happy 60th Nana Mum with little Riley falling in a box. I'm cuddling my 2 kids. I'll show you. This, I will just mention, this may put me in jail. Maybe it was the text that wasn't clear. I'm risking jail for this video. So, just letting you know. And I've moved Mum's house around because it had some fucking weird arrangements of things that weren't really aligned with positivity. Probably because she's been tortured for 50 years by pharmaceutical industry that has kind of corrupted her and used her like a bit of a mascot, a bit of a spruiker. Just found a photo of my picture, not my picture, my sister, spruiking. So it seems to run in the family. Yeah, this is a photo. That's Riley, and he's fallen in the toy box. That's me. That's how I would end most afternoons when I had little kids, was them on me, and I'd be absolutely knackered. That's their beautiful mother holding Charlie and Riley, and that's my little ducky down there that says love Shannon, Julie, Riley, and Charlie. Love to Nana. Photos are a fucking important thing. I cannot tell you enough. Now, it took me about an hour to go through all Mum's photos, because if you look up there, that top shelf and then a bunch of other shelves, Leia's fucking getting upset, is all photographs. It's all family photos. That's how family photos used to be arranged. And on the walls and things. It was beautiful. It was a wonderful thing. It's something that I'd encourage you all to do again, somehow. Whoever jumps on that little fucking hot winner there is going to be amazed. I know some of you still do it. But what would happen is you'd have photos and you'd see them, and then you could talk about the photos with the people in your family or your friends or whatever like that, and people are interested. Sometimes they're not. If it gets too lengthy, like if I started showing you in the, and this for some people is probably too lengthy, I'm gonna have to go tell her to stop barking. Come on, in your bed. When your dog barks, it's important to tell them to stop, and she fucking barks at the most annoying times. It's almost like something's interfering with her and telling her to fucking bark. That time then, there's no one there. Just purely to, I think she's like, oi! Everybody, I think she's going, everybody shut up, he's making a video. And I'm like, you're the only one making a noise, you stupid bitch. It's okay to call dogs bitches, that's actually their correct name. so don't get upset. And if you've gotten upset about me calling a dog a bitch, I'm going to show you a picture of me as a kid holding my cat Jellybean in the bush behind me. Isn't that just adorable? Yeah? Isn't that just an adorable photograph? That cat was beautiful. He's a massive, big old cat. Big lion fucking thing. So now we all settled down from me yelling at my dog. Place that down. And I'm going to take you through a little walk through a few things and tell a little story, because why not? Why not? Why stop now? Why don't I just keep going? Yeah, that's what I reckon as well. That's me holding Riley as a baby. My son Riley. In my wife beater there. I'm not a wife beater. I'll never touch her, honestly. Just fucking, smash. Oh, you almost got me, you bitch. But it's love. It's all with love. Yeah, it's like a love thing. Yeah, that's me when I was, 21, 22, holding my son. Look at him. He's a big fucking hefty boy, and look at that. Like, I was a little scrawny little thing back then. Look at my head. It's fucking huge. His head's almost the same size. He's always had a big head, that little dickhead. Yeah, cool photo. Just a bit of a raw father moment. Right, I'll take you back a little bit before that. Not far before that. I don't know how old I am here. I'm probably about, I reckon 15, 16, maybe 17. Probably 17. And this is when I was going through my little Eminem phase. This is when I've got completely all bleached hair. Yeah, actually no, that would have been that's our old house. So that would have been like year, I don't know, year 9 or something, I think. Little Eminem stage photo. Now, talked to earlier on about a black horse and a white horse and how I tried to jump over the fence and ride the horses. And that's them there. That's the black horse and the white horse that lived next door that I wanted to ride and got yelled at for jumping over the fence. Oops, I'll leave that one. That's just flew out. That's me. I mentioned it earlier on as well, that I had a Scottish deerhound named Sky. That's it right there. That's her. Very similar photo to the cat one, except that's the dog one. That's my dog. She was the same age as me. She was kind of like my mum or my sister, or she was like a crazy wolf that would just go crazy. We'd call it, she's doing maddies, and it was fucking terrifying. She would jump higher than my head now and run at me as full pelt and kind of try and balk me out. And my dad was like, just stand still. And I was like, all right, Dad. And that worked. I'm still here. So she did bite me in the face once, but that was because my dickhead brother hit her with a fucking carrot. And I was on the front end, so I got the bite. But I survived, so it was okay in the end. Terrifying, but beautiful, beautiful animal. Bit like somebody else I know. No. Right, now, how am I going to do this? This is kind of the piece de resistance here, I think. This is me and my friend at the back of our house. And as you can see in this photograph here, we are both wearing dresses and we're on rollerblades. And we have balloons as tits, and we're pretty well endowed. I'll show you a couple more just so you get, there's a close-up. Mum zoomed in there. almost looks like we've got mini skirts on there. My boobs have fucking fallen down a bit. But yeah, I look a bit concerned as well. Like I'm like, what are you fucking up to, you bitch? Nah, not really. It was all in good fun. I'd quite often sneak it, and it was like a Narnia thing. I'm not even kidding. Like I would go in her wardrobe, and it wasn't so much to do with. It's just pretending stuff. Even in the wardrobe, I used to think it had all these fucking channels and different rooms and different things like that in it. And I still think it does. So anyway, but it's like a pretending, and we're just larrikins. We just fuck around all the time. We do whatever. There's other photos, but I didn't want to waffle on. There's photos with us dressed as cowboys, and fucking we've got bandanas on, and we've got all different types of things. There's one of just me in a dress on rollerblades. Those rollerblades as well, it was the best thing ever. We just fucking hoon around. We go to the school and we'd rollerblade. We'd jump off shit, we'd try and go backwards, we'd play roller hockey. It was amazing fun. And there's one last one, so I think it's pretty much the same. And obviously the boob there is just slipped down a little bit. Yeah. Now, in the spirit of transgenderism, which I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm not even kidding. I didn't know transgenderism. I knew there was like people that dressed up in other clothes. Like I kind of knew. Mum used to say, like, there was a guy at the servo. She's like, because my mum is a fucking gossipy bitch. She talks shit about everyone. She used to take us to the food hall just so we could sit there and talk shit about the people in the food hall, which was fun. So don't pretend you haven't done it. Yeah? Especially if you've talked shit to the police about me like that. That's the same thing. Yeah? You should have gone to the food hall. I don't even know if the food hall even exists anymore. I'm guessing it does. Yeah, in the spirit of, what's it called when you've got to, when they're saying they're little girls and little boys, you've got to accept what they're saying. Affirming, gender affirming care, right? Thank God that wasn't a thing. Yeah? My kids wouldn't be here. I might be, I don't know, I could be in Hollywood, but my kids wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have learnt all the skills. Probably wouldn't have looked after my dad when he was going blind and dying. I probably wouldn't have looked after my mum when she got her 4th or 5th or whatever the fucking divorce it was. I probably wouldn't have taken up bodyboarding and surfing and skateboarding. I would have been sucking dick in Hollywood. I haven't sucked dick in Hollywood, unlike most of the actresses out there. And I guess that's why I'm still here. So I can't really say whether that would have been better or worse, but one thing I can say is, because now I put the photographs on the wall and I can see my kids around me, and I'm in my mum's house that she still owns because, you know, we came up and rescued her after a fucking alcoholic fucking dickhead of a fucking husband was a cunt. We had to kick him out. And I'm sitting here talking to you guys about some important shit. So it seems like the fact that my balls stayed intact, my tits didn't stay intact, as you can see, it's fallen down. But they weren't under my skin, they were just under my dress. And unless you're naked, no one can really tell the difference. As you can see, I can actually do some kind of illusionary little tactics to get you all a bit fucking sizzled up, just with some tricks of the light. Now, I could do this a lot more if I was in that type of mood, but I'm not in that type of mood. I'm in a storytelling type of mood with photographs, okay? And there's probably children present, so I'm not going to fuck around like that, even though I probably could. So yeah, isn't it weird that the only time you'd actually be able to tell if someone was modified is if they were naked and they're children? So yeah, what a wacky little thing. But you've done it all now. You've all affirmed my dressing up when I was a kid. And take that, you cunts. Take that, you fucking cunts. Yeah? I've arrived. I've flown in all the windows of London. All the way from the fucking Never Never Land. I told my kid's mum about this and she fucking didn't believe me. Now, that's the right thing to do, really. She probably shouldn't have believed me because it's insane. But nevertheless, the proof is in the pudding. I have indeed done this. I do indeed fix windows, and I have indeed flown in all the windows of London via this window, the one that's broken and giving me nothing but grief, but it's still a window. Look what's behind me is windows. Holy shit. And my mum's name's Wendy. And I'm trying to rescue all the Lost Boys, which are like vampires as well. And I've used a lot of that. This is called make-believe and fiction, and it's one of the most, and the English language is the best tool of choice to get that job done. So I guess I wasn't all that keen on being a girl until now, but that's complicated. That's like, I've had a lot of, it's complicated, and I'm not actually wanting to be a girl. I'm just kind of an actor, and I'm kind of a performer. I'm a bit of an open person, a bit of a creative person, so I fuck around with lots of different things. I could show you the last 3 years, how many different kind of things I've manifest. Now, I'm not covered in tattoos and I don't have piercings. That's how I do it, because it's temporary. Because I can change, like the weather, or like the seasons, or like the fucking moon, or like the sun, or anything that moves on this earth. Everything fucking moves. And we're born naked, yeah. So what clothing and makeup and hair and, shaving and accessories and all these different things. There's a myriad of different ways that you can express every kind of different thing that you want to do without getting surgery. That would only be seen if you're naked as a child. Yeah? I didn't even like being shirtless as a child. I kid you not. My auntie once made me walk out of the shower to my room, and I was like, I don't want to. Because there was adults there, and I don't know what that's about. There's nothing really hidden. I just was kind of like that. And so I just get quite upset at the whole thing. And I think a lot of people do, because it is insane. And I really do honestly believe that if my mother wasn't in the first step of the pharmaceutical fucking Wall Street invasion, where she was the spruiker for that, she would be on this current cohort, and she probably would have done that. And I'm not kidding. She's I don't want to say she's disturbed, but I think what it is, I think she was just probably a bit like me at a time where that was less acceptable. And a bunch of people around started telling her things, and then Wall Street created, a drug boom and an insurance boom that kind of just paved the golden road to fucking Wonderland for her. And so she's just been stuck in like some type of drugged out Wonderland. But that has caused a lot of disruption to a lot of things. And it's been very hard to deal with. And actually to push back at it means I'm pushing back as one person against an entire billion-dollar industry that has world leaders backing it, fucking media companies backing it, and all this shit. And unlike the current kids that are getting abused and fucking neglected and just all these things in the current era that can't speak, I can speak. And it happened, 40, 50 years ago. And I'm like, hey, this is all fucking coming down. This is all finishing right the fuck now, because Peter Pan has flown in every fucking window of London, right? And he's told you all that if you don't fucking stop, I'm going to fucking start killing you. Yeah? And everybody's going to turn their back. I'm going to walk into every psychiatry clinic. I'm going to be like, how many kids have you prescribed shit to in the last week? If that number is higher than 0, that person's getting killed. Right there. In cold blood. On the fucking floor. Now, I'm not trying to encourage that. I'm not saying this is the strategy. I'm saying this is where I'm at. Right? I'm not fucking around. You need to stop, and you need to go and fucking turn yourself in, and you need to go and do time for your crimes. And that is a far better thing than you lying in a puddle of fucking blood. Yeah? This isn't like a roundup, because it's all fucked. It's all money, it's all promotion, but you need to go and do time. You'll be all right. You'll be fine at the end of it. You probably don't even know. At this stage, it's very complicated. It's like just a mass event of kind of toxicity and craziness. And it's based on money and a lot of complicated back-end things that are hard to kind of pinpoint. And I've had to do a lot of due diligence to kind of find that all out. And that's killed me, because it's taken longer. And every day that I take longer means that more kids are getting exposed to this. It's got to stop. Yeah, I change my fucking mind all the time. Sometimes I will make radical life decisions and change them. Radical. Within 3 hours, I'll be all this way and then all that way. And a lot of people are. And a lot of that stuff has led me to this, to be able to do these things, because it's a different way of functioning. It's kind of an in the moment, like, intuitive way of functioning. And to people that are very, structured, from our schools that are incredibly structured, that can appear odd. But I see those schools as odd. I see those schools as little fucking Auschwitzes. Yeah, as little Dachau's. Little prisons. Now that I've been to prison, when I was in prison, first time I walked onto the yard with the basketball court there, I went, I'm at high school. I'm back at high school. Somehow. The whole fucking thing is fucked, and we've lost our humanity. And there's no doubt in my mind that we have. And we've kind of pushed this identity thing of say Aboriginals. And Aboriginals are beautiful people. It's a wonderful thing. They are getting hammered by this system, right? And there's Native Americans, all these things. But we've forgotten that, like, people that look like me with white skin, I think it's almost lucky that I don't have blue eyes. If I had blue eyes, like Eminem, you wouldn't listen to me. There's no way you would. You'd be like, oh, he's a fucking whatever. No, bullshit. I've got about 5 or 6 different genealogies running through my blood, through my thing. Plus, I'm in a weird place that's not native, in another place that's not native, and I had a weird childhood that was very strange. There was lots of different figures in my life. So I'm a fucking fruit salad of fucking chaos. But I thrive in that, and we're in chaos now. So I've spent my life in chaos. I can see it as clear as day. You can't, because you've been pushed through systems of control, of follow the leader, of straight lines, and it has skewed you to just ingest whatever you're told. And there is billions and billions of dollars going into this. It has taken me, I'm going to add it up, it's got to be like, they say the 10,000 hours, it's got to be, I think, higher than that at this stage. And if you factor in my whole life, because I was, as early as I can remember, I knew that there was something very wrong. Very wrong. And it made me weird, because I've kind of got like a weird, like, I'm like, all right, how do I play along? And then I'm like, sometimes I can't stand that. And I'm like, fuck this. And then I'll get in trouble. And walking that tightrope of like, what's allowed, what's not allowed, what's allowed, what's not allowed, is incredibly difficult. in this system that we're in. So what chance does a fucking 11-year-old or a fucking, with the worst case, a 6, 7, 8-year-old have to push back against that? Of a mentally ill, probably under the same influence of the pharmaceuticals, pushing that on them. My mother has pushed pharmaceutical drugs on me my entire life. I had a kind of a crisis moment like 9, 10 years ago because I had 3 fucking children. I'd almost been killed a year ago before. I just negotiated my mum's divorce. And my dad, who was elderly, he was 82 or something, 81, 82, had just gone blind and we had to relocate him. And the whole squad of my family came in, and instead of helping me, they called me fucking crazy and they tried to shove pills down my fucking throat as if it's the panacea that cures everything. It's not. It's a scapegoat for your fucking neglect of the responsibilities that you have as children, as a family, that you've all fucking neglected like your shit fucking dad did. This whole thing is absolutely fucked, and there is one location on earth that has been the engine room of this, and that is New York City, and that is fucking Wall Street. Now, you've had fucking Arabs in caves and all this shit, claiming all this shit and saying we're going to do shit, and you know, apparently they flew planes into a fucking thing. I have no intention of flying planes into anywhere, but if you don't fucking shut these fucking cunts down and run them the fuck out of town, yeah, we're gonna decimate that fucking city. We're gonna fucking raid the thing. We're gonna cling wrap all the doors on the bottom floor shut, so you're all stuck in the buildings, right? Out of nowhere, just like that, cling wrap. Yeah? Then we're gonna pile fucking firewood around the bottom and we're gonna burn yous alive in the fucking towers unless this stops. Yeah, we're gonna watch the windows blow out the side of it, where we hear the fucking screams of every fucking New York citizen, unless you walk down to those buildings, to that exchange center, and you demand that every fucking pharmaceutical company that has been promoting this fucking nonsense are put in chains and arrested. Now, Peter Pan never flew to New York because Pan Am shut down all those years ago. But it looks like he's just figured out how to do it. With the help of Google, with the help of Facebook, with the help of YouTube, with the help of Elon Musk Starlinking his way across the fucking world, with the help of Donald Trump, with the help of RFK Jr. That Kennedy family knows all about this. They had a sister, I think it would have been his great aunt or his auntie, I'm not really sure, who was very similar to my mum. And just before the craze of the pharmaceuticals, there was a little craze called a lobotomy. And I kid you not, at the worst case of the lobotomies, when they were going on, there were people driving in vans, home delivery, like the original Uber Eats, but it was Uber ice pick to the fucking central fucking frontal lobe. Through your eye. Like that. Straight in your fucking eye, and then one just gentle tap. And they would describe it as that. They would go, oh, it's cutting edge science. We just stick it in their eyeball and it's just one gentle tap. It just scrambles their frontal lobe, and then they'll be quite docile and well behaved. This is the world we live in. But at least in one way, those guys were kind of independent operators. A bit like me, a bit like my company was. I was just one guy in a van, but I was delivering dance mirrors so people could fucking move and be free and learn to have confidence to face the challenges that we're all facing in this crazy time. These guys chose a slightly darker and more psychopathic route, and they were paid for it, and they were paid handsomely by families that didn't want their little secret in the closet to get out and cause a fuss for all their business that they were doing. And that's what happened to my mother. But luckily, she had the amazing skill set from her training in the military, from her training at NASA, to weather that storm. And I kid you not, secretly tell me things. Kind of randomly. Her subconscious showed me how to do this. There was this weird interplay where she would be just random, she'd be in chaos, not knowing anything, and then she'd give me the exact thing that I needed over and over and over again, and not know why or how. Now, there's a lot of fucking things like that that have been going on, and I don't have any fucking answers, but I'm basically telling you that the world is pretty fucking weird, okay? And a lot of scientists, tippity-top, remember how cool science is? Remember trust the science? A lot of tippy-top scientists are telling everybody the same thing right now. But my advice is don't fucking think about it too much. Just live, be nice, be happy, love each other. Take photographs, look after them. Don't ever send anyone to jail for sharing family photographs. Now, there's no hard feelings because it was a crazy situation, right? And it's pushed me to do this. You've always pushed me to do things. You used to push me to get up to work, yeah, and I needed it. So you've done the same thing. And it's our children's future. So, you know what I mean? If I could, if it wouldn't upset your husband, I'd finally give you that hug that I wanted on that Christmas day. Before I removed these paintings, and it's actually no disrespect, I was never fooled around with by my mum's boyfriend that was the artist. I just wanted you all to think that. That's what I do. I'm a fucking performer, I'm an artist, I'm a fucking weird person that wants to push you guys to fucking listen and to challenge yourselves. I wasn't happy that he squatted and did his art on my father's property because it restricted my father from owning that property, which restricted me from owning that property, it restricted me from seeing my father, and then that has then lived through me, and now I know both sides of that story, and I'm really pissed off. So I scrubbed my father's address off. I scrubbed the price off, and I put the inflated price based on my calculations on all the family property matters that have gone through my mother's frequent habit of getting divorced. I left his name because he's obviously inspired me to be an artist and to do art and to push the limits. And he had struggles with substance abuse, mainly alcohol, and he was, I don't think, ever medicated, but alcohol was what got him. But when alcohol wasn't getting him, and I just saw some photos then, he did wonderful things and inspired me to see how much one person can change a property for the better and make it beautiful. So it's a weird, conflicted argument in my head. And in some way, I think he's kind of helping me, and because I think he feels guilty. And I think my mum fucked him over and broke his heart. But she wasn't there. She's been brainwashed constantly. Bigger, better, more, another husband, divorce, woman, feminism, la 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 la, all good things in moderation. Out of moderation, chaos, turmoil, child abuse, child neglect, child fucking mutilation and torture. Now, the best news about right now is we're at the pit, the bottom of hell. That's what I'm here to tell you. There is no further we can go than this moment. We have reached the devil. And I'm kind of here on his behalf to say, righto, time to go back up. Which means to go backwards. Like Icarus, we flew too close to the sun, and we need to now fucking descend slowly and carefully, which Icarus didn't get to do, but we do. Because, like all the religions will tell you, we are all God's favourites. All of us. Whether you're a Jew or a Gentile. Everyone. Everyone who's still here are his favourites. It's a wonderful thing. It's pretty fucking fantastic. But we are at the depth of hell. So we need to turn around and we need to start climbing back up. And that isn't something to be rushed. It's going to be really beautiful and slow because we all need to kind of accept that we're in hell. We need to kind of go, yeah, that does sound exactly like what I'd imagine hell to be. Shannon, you're right there. I trust you and I hope that this upward direction will lead us to a beautiful place. And it will. It has to. I've done it a few times. Well, for myself, personally, I've done it probably 3 times already. Once because of my own mistakes, secondly because of someone else's mistakes, and then thirdly because of the world going into hell. So now we're on the way out. And it's wonderful. I was going to say something about the fucking paintings. I put the paintings down on the wall. That's right. So, if any of you have seen Harry Potter, you know the scene where they're kind of walking through and actually, I can't remember his name. I hate when I can't remember people's names. I think it's John Cleese. There we go. Thank you. John Cleese, I think, nearly Headless Nick. Now, I can't remember whether he's a painting or whether he's a dead person or whether he's a whatever. But there are some strange fucking things on Earth that have been talked about for thousands and thousands of years. So it's not all that odd to kind of go, maybe they're actually a bit more true. Now, again, my advice is to not think too much about it unless you're called to it, unless you're drawn to something like that. Yeah, you just got to trust that the world is actually here to help you, not here to hurt you. If you think it's here to hurt you, more things that are going to hurt you or try to hurt you are going to rock up. If you think it's going to help you, then you'll be helped. It's a pretty simple fucking set of rules. It's none of this secret bullshit. It's just stay the course. Write it down if you can. Use Facebook if you can. Like a book, like you're writing a book about your future, where you're going to be doing things that are way better than what you're doing now. And I can almost guarantee you, if you stay that course, you will get there. Almost. Nothing's certain in this world. So don't take anything for granted. Isn't that a wonderful little fucking trick of the fucking world or God or Allah or whoever you wish, Gaia or any of them really. Any of them apply. Any figures you want to use, they all exist under my version of God or, a lot of the religious versions of God in this monotheistic. And it's not about a specific thing. It's about one. It has to get to one. It's not a cult. It's just the obvious mathematical equation that you have to get to one. Getting to 0 is impossible because you can't have a structure and get to 0. Once you hit 1, you go to 1 again. And it goes up. But that's mathematics. It's boring, it's fucking stupid. But basically know that there are people, and some people call them spirits, some people call them guides, some people call them angels, some people call them poltergeists. You know what I mean? Sometimes the scary thing about it is what you need, because you want to be brave against the scary thing. Everything is perfectly designed for you to fucking get to where you want to go. And if you write it down, keep a record of it, then you'll know. And if you use the brand new, that I sit on the board of, the 25% my company now, Meta, Instagram and Facebook time machine, then you'll fucking be just dead set amazed at what you can achieve. And the one piece of advice over there is to think about something else apart from yourself. Whilst thinking about yourself. The simplest thing is, and we'll use the apple tree, right? Now, I don't think the fucking tree that the snake was around was even an apple tree. No one said it was an apple tree. Ever. And I've spoken a lot about this. And considering it's the year of the snake, and it's the Lunar New Year of the Chinese, I'm going to kind of step in and explain a few things. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil wasn't a tree. And it certainly wasn't an apple tree. The apple is just a kind of inherent's the wrong word. I wish I had Jeff Lawton to help me right now. And I'm going to get it, because this is what diligence is about. It's enigmatic's the wrong word. That kind of means, like, it kind of is an enigmatic species of fruit tree from the Middle East, but let's put it on the shelf and come back to it. If you like apples, then plant an apple tree. Or go and buy some apples and then plant the seeds. That's what I mean. It's like something for yourself and then give something back. Now a seed is, you don't even need it, and it's far smaller, and a lot of them won't germinate. But just put it back. That's it. If you want sex, then think about the other person and you'll have more sex, I guarantee you. Carrie Bradshaw told me that. If you want money, then think about what you're going to do with the money for somebody else, and you'll get money. Selfishness is despised by the universe, if you want to get all fucking new age. It's completely despised. And that's, as a species, what we are. And that's why we're all collectively in hell right now. We're despised by every other living creature and life form and bacteria and virus on this earth, and they want to get rid of us. And they've asked me to do it. And I said no. I said, fuck off. If I do that, then I've got to fucking wait around with a bunch of fucking animals, and who am I going to fuck? Because I don't fuck animals. You know what I mean? It's that simple. Like I said, something for yourself and something for everyone else. It's like, all right, I'll fucking tell them all, cunts, because this is a big job. And this is like all the fucking ants and the fucking bees and the butterflies and the birds and the fucking snakes. Snakes are very persistent, as you might have noticed. They said, they're like, either fucking kill them all or fucking turn them around. I went, all right, I'll turn them around, because I will want someone to fuck. I kid you not, just then, my phone just appeared to me the Syrian president that was killed. What was his name? That is fucking freaky, man. That is freaky shit. What was his name? But that's kind of cool. Because he was misunderstood, and this is, again, it's complicated. And the whole time I'm doing this, I know that I could be killed. Yeah, this is a dangerous fucking thing to do. It's been dangerous for ages now. But I think basically as soon as I got arrested and I had that photo of the king of Vikings frozen on my TV, and I was sitting there holding a book that the Queen tells 3 cows that live in a red shed to, like, you know what I mean? And I was wearing a psychedelic shirt, and then I got arrested for fucking sharing a photograph. I was like, pretty sure I'm his favourite at this stage. Pretty sure I'm a bit of a sure thing to see this over the line. But that doesn't make it any less difficult. It's tortured me beyond belief. I'm sorry that I can't remember that Syrian president's name that was killed. And I cannot believe that he just appeared on my phone. But I suppose I can. There's a lot of weird shit that happens to me all the time. Now, as you can see, probably not, because it's gotten dark, hasn't it? That's because the sun is setting right now. The sun is setting in the west. And it's working its way all the way around. It's going to go to Africa. Then where does it go? And it comes up around, I don't know, China, Russia. I get confused. It's difficult sometimes to work out where the sun is. But it's setting here, which means that the day is finished. And then it's going to be nighttime. Nighttime is my favourite time because it's when all my friends come out. That's the stars. Now, one thing that you need to know about the stars is they're mischievous, they're tricky. Yeah, they do have constellations that people have celebrated, and this has actually got us into a lot of trouble in the past. Stars don't always like to be seen fully. Most of my most deepest realizations and things that have come from the stars have come from obscured stars, obscured constellations, by trees, by clouds, by, in extreme cases, birds or aeroplanes even. Even sometimes satellites interacting with stars. All beautiful things, all part of God, or all part of Allah, or all part of anyone that you want to talk about, or Gaia, or the universe, or fucking the aliens. Any of it really works. It's the interplay between your inner dialogue, which we all have, and that's not craziness. That's an inner dialogue. It's like your booting system. It's like your Facebook wall in your head. You're telling yourself a story. If you tell yourself a bad story, shit will get worse. If you tell yourself a good story, shit will get better. It's pretty simple stuff. And the interplay between your thoughts and what you see everywhere, not just in the sky, but the sky is just a beautiful way to do it. Yeah, because we've been doing it for millions of years. So the sky is a very strong time. You're often alone. It's often quiet. If you're not in a city, but even if you're in a city, it's every single fucking thing. You might just catch a star as it goes over a Coke sign and realise that, last time you had a Coke was with your sister and you haven't phoned your sister in a while. That's how it works. It might be obscured by a tree that branches down and you realise that you were going to plant a fucking peach tree in your yard and you never did it. And then the next day you go and buy a peach tree because you love peaches. Nothing is difficult. Yeah? We've come on a huge journey of dialogue, of technology, of movement across migration, across all the world. And that's really complicated. And it made it more complicated that we were trying to kill each other the whole fucking time. Yeah, because it's just something that we used to do. But, and sometimes still do. And that's part of life. I can't make it any different. I can't say that people aren't going to kill people. I can't say we're not going to have wars. But I can say that me rocking up as Peter Pan and flying in every window with the help of Bill Gates as well. Bill Gates is alright. He got strung up by this fucking divorce, vulturous industry and finance and promotion and marketing and PR. And he had the biggest fucking stick in town, so a lot of people got hit by it. But he has a lot of good to give. And so you've got to forgive, okay? But for me to affirm myself and rock up as Peter Pan and fly in all your windows didn't require any surgeon, didn't require any drugs except a couple of flowers that I've found in my yard. It didn't require any cosmetics. It required, by memory, a little bit of cardboard with some alfoil around it and some green fabric that my mum sewed with her sewing machine, her Singer sewing machine. and a little leather holster for the knife, and a feather that she painted red. I had a pretty cool mum, and I still do. And it seems like she's starting to remember that she's pretty cool, and I like that. But just remember that before you make any permanent decisions, because if I had been modified, if I had had that fucking huge fucking set of fucking Hooters there, yeah, I might have been serving you a drink at Hooters. I might have been on the fucking centre of Playboy. I might have been on OnlyFans, but I wouldn't be fucking Peter Pan. I wouldn't be flying in your fucking window right now. I'm trying to give you a little tip for a bright and glorious future. I think I did it all there. I talked about stars. Second star on the right, straight on till midnight. Talked about Eminem. That's always important to remember that I'm not a whacked out fucking lunatic sitting in my mum's living room pretending to talk to London. I'm an absolute fucking gangster fucking psychopath that just basically threatened to kill every psychiatrist unless they turn themselves into the police. So you'll see that the adult version of Peter Pan, and actually the original version of Peter Pan, if you read it, is pretty fucked up. It's pretty violent, it's pretty crazy. It's about a boy that was left in the bush and gathered up all the other boys that were left in the bush and kind of looked after them because they'd been abandoned, and did whatever he had to do. A lot of people say that Peter Pan's about not growing up. I think that skews the situation. I think Peter Pan was written in post-war era by a man that was looking around him and seeing probably more than likely a lot of children that didn't have parents because they were killed in the trenches, or they were killed in the bombings, or they were killed in the death camps. And they didn't have parents, and if their parents were there, they were so fucked up from seeing that, from witnessing that, that the kids were alone. And I think this author saw that the kids were all right. I think he saw that they use imagination to protect themselves, that they do play pretend, that they do look after each other. As long as there are some adults around. If you look at the other version of Lord of the Flies, this is kind of a flip version of that. And I think those two books should be read together and understood together. Because the kids in the Lord of the Flies, they tried to grow up. And they became murderers like their parents. And Peter Pan didn't want to grow up. Yeah? And so he stayed there and fought pirates. Now the killing Indians bit, yeah, hasn't aged well. But if you replace Indians with witch doctors selling pharmaceuticals from Wall Street offices, salesmen of stocks, disconnect, they're not doctors. Promoters of PR, they're not doctors. They're hitmen. They're savage, fucking unrelenting people that are amazingly skilled but just selling the wrong thing. And heartless enough to not actually care. But that's not a sin. They're doing a job. It's expensive to live in New York City. But who pays the price in the end?